health team. Stefan here from Better Brain, and we're just tuning into Facebook. We're just tuning into Instagram. I just wanted to say hello, guys. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I am fashionably late, but today's topic is going to be worth it. So, first of all, I'm going to wait for a few people to join so that we can discuss something that I hope makes sense to a lot of you guys, wherever you're watching from. When you join this, I want you to ask questions. I want you to get involved. I want you to be present, because what I'm trying to do for the next however many weeks it takes is to inspire people for 10 minutes a day. That's all I'm asking for, 10 minutes of your time, to hopefully try and discover new strategies and tools, how to stay positive. When you do feel like you're in a bad place, what can you do to get out of it? Because as we know, the world is coming to an end. COVID is like affecting every single one of us in one way or another. So today I wanted to share the topic of how do we reflect and how do we actually learn to enjoy the journey? Deep topic. It's a deep conversation. Yesterday we did a live workout. Today it's more about mentally understanding where you are in space, where you are at your personal, professional, relationship life. Because here is the thing: if you learn how to control this, the rest becomes much more easy to manage. It doesn't become easy, it becomes easier to manage. I'll never forget, I went to a super cool conference a while back, but something really stuck with me, and I was there with one of my good buddies and sort of business partners of mine, and we were sitting down, and this lady who is an author, she's released loads and loads of different popular books on mindset, on business, on health, and she goes like this. She goes, guys, if you think that it gets easier as you get older, and if you think the voices in your head change, you're BSing yourself. And everyone went quiet in the audience, because this woman has had like millions and millions of copies sold on her book. She's like a multimillionaire. She says, I still wake up every morning thinking, am I good enough to do this job? Are people going to trust me? She said, all you remember how to do as you make more and more mistakes in life is you just remember how to say to all these voices in your head to shut the F up better. That's it. The voices don't stop. You don't necessarily change as a person. But if I can give you some little tools and tips and strategies on how to manage these things better, and sometimes it takes as little as 10 minutes, which is why we call the show Feel Good in 10, then hopefully we can impact people's lives in a more positive way. Without further ado, let's talk about just 3 tips, 3 strategies that I've written in my diary that I want to share with you guys on how we can enjoy our journey in a better way. Now, this can be to do with your health. This can be to do with your, I don't know, saving money for your first house, your home, starting a family, choosing the perfect career for your life. The title is almost irrelevant. It's the context that we want to worry about. Content is less relevant than context. But guys, as always, tell me where you're joining from. Tell me how your day's been. Tell me how this year has been. Today's the 30th of December, and it's probably one of the best times to start reflecting. I was talking to this with some of my private clients. I do this myself every single December. I go past like the 12-month period and see what's happened, what's changed, what's not changed. I'm going to allow some of the comments on Facebook so people can actually get involved. We've got loads of people joining on Instagram. What is going on, team? Cool. Okay. So the first point I want to talk about is questions. And what do I mean by questions when it comes to enjoying the journey? I have a super cool question for you, and I want you to, next time you feel anxious, next time you feel a little bit sad, a bit disappointed, sorry guys, I've got my camera there. Steph is saying the lunchroom again. Steph is one of our clients. She's awesome, and she said that it's a good way to start her lunch break and to enjoy her lunch break, just to understand a little bit more about the mind and the health. So Steph, we love you, you're awesome. But going back to questions, why are questions so important? People that extremely self-aware and extremely reflective in their time with their money, their health, their finances, their mental well-being, they're always very, very good at answering the right questions and asking the right questions. And here is one I have for you today. I want you to, let's play a game. I want you to imagine that we can build a time machine. I'm sure one day we'll be able to. And in this time machine, we put you in there, and you can go for the next 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, and you can literally stop at every single point of your lifetime, and you can reflect back. So you can see, if you're in your 30s, then you can see in your 40s, family. You can imagine the house you have. You can imagine how you look, how you feel. Be super descriptive with this question. In fact, as soon as you put the phone down, I actually want you to write this down, and I want you to imagine that you are in a time machine, and we've put you just towards the end of your life, just before your life is ending. And what I want you to do, what we call this reverse engineering, I want you to picture how your life has been all that time and ask yourself, did I have a fulfilled life? Did I enjoy life? Was it healthy? Was I just constantly in pains and aches, and I was complaining because of bad back, or because I was just not having enough energy? Or was I the type of person that was influencing others in a positive way? I was smiling, I was happy, I was sad, but I understood it, and I was eating well, and I was exercising, or the opposite. Did I have regrets? And I ask myself this question from time to time, and it's really interesting, because when you start to get in that psyche of putting yourself in the future self and then reflecting back, it helps you to organize a plan of action. It helps you to organize something that you can actually take control of. Because human beings are the only species on the planet. This is where I get really geeky, by the way, guys. The human species are the only species on planet Earth that we can consciously see ourselves as a third person. So imagine this is my office, and I can picture myself from the top of the room, observing myself down, what I'm doing, how I move, how I look, what the back of my head looks like. And this is a really important conscious behavior that we've developed, and our brains are the only ones that can do that, which means you can use it to practice that. Ask yourself the question, if I'm in a time machine and I go forward 30, 40, 50 years, depending how old you are, and I look back on my life, was I happy? Was I not? Would I have done anything different? Would I not? Because you have the chance, you have the power to, if there was anything that you think, you know what, I didn't spend enough time with my family, or screw it, the opposite. I spent too much time with family, and they were toxic, and they were like always putting me down. And I have friends who were always saying that, Stefan, what are you doing with all these podcasts and all these health shows? And they were always like taking the piss to begin with a few years ago. And those same friends now are asking me for advice. How cool is that? Sometimes you have to appreciate that you don't have to necessarily worry so much about what people think or how people judge you. And I'm super guilty of that. I was like always a people pleaser when I was a bit younger. And then a few things happen, and you realize, actually, it's my life. It's my life, and I want to create it exactly how I want. So that type of question that we talked about, type of exercise, puts you and gives you much more freedom. And as always, I'm running out of time. So let's move to point number 2. How is this guy? Oh, we've got loads of people saying hi on Facebook as well. Sorry, guys. Love you all. But yeah, how does that sound as a powerful question? It's a very, very kind of futuristic point, but I dare you to try it after today. I dare you to just put the phone down in the next 2-3 minutes and just write it down, and just journal. Just write and imagine and see where your mind takes you. The second thing I want to talk about is, if the first one is questions, the second one is reflection. How do you reflect? When do you reflect? Do you put time in your diary and your busy lifestyle to actually reflect? Reflect on, how was it yesterday? How did today go? How was last week? How was this year? You know, we've had such crazy times. And here in the UK, it's getting even more crazy. But guess what? The other day, I'm not going to show my office, but I have loads of whiteboards around me. I've got one here as well. I was writing down what has happened this year. What are the things that happened? And automatically you start to think, well, it was just a bad year. I was meant to get married. It was the year of our life. We were meant to plan a honeymoon, maybe even start a family. And just boom, COVID happens and your whole world turns upside down. But guess what? When I was writing things down that happened this year, so many of those things were positive. So many of those things were good things. So as a result, unless you reflect, you don't really know how far you've come. Another exercise for you, as soon as this video finishes, write down 10 things that happened this year that you think changed your life for better. Yes, it's been a shitty year, it's been tough, loads of negative stuff happened, but I promise you that there are opportunities. This is why the title is, there are opportunities when there are problems. For example, we had to close one of our clinics, no, all of our clinics. For those of you who don't know, I'm by trade a doctor of chiropractic, and our private office is shut for 3 months. It just wasn't good to practice back then. But one of my businesses was booming. It's an online business. It didn't really affect me whether I'm in a location or not. And I could have really easily concentrated on me not being able to open my chiropractic office. But at the same time, it gives me so much opportunity to help people in a different way. So you have to adapt, but you cannot adapt unless you reflect. Just maybe do it as a weekly exercise. Every Sunday, you just look back at the week and you write down 3 good things that happened. Hope that helps. So that's my second point. Point number 3 is future planning. So we've done this futuristic exercise about asking the questions. We've done this thing where you reflect back. You can also do forward planning to actually put things into practice. If you want, I can help you out with planning a lot. I do this quite a lot with my private clients. Just drop me a message. But goal setting is so important, and we have a very specific formula, a very specific sort of framework as to why we plan goals the way we do them. So it's December time. So with my private clients, we'll be starting doing their planning very soon, the next couple of weeks, maybe for the following year. And we have things like a 3-year plan, a 1-year plan, a 3-month plan, a 1-month plan, a 1-week plan, which basically means when you micro break the big goal, and let's say your big goal is I want to lose 50 pounds, or I want to build a business, or I want to save up for my first house, or I want to start sleeping better. That's a big goal. They're huge goals. So the mind starts to get overwhelmed and you end up doing nothing. So what I've taught over time is actually to break it down into smaller chunks to the point where you know exactly what's happening every single day, exactly what's happening every single week, exactly what's happening every single month, and so on and so forth. Guys, and 12 minutes 42. I'm running 2 minutes late, but hey ho, I hope you enjoyed it. Just think about those 3 principles when it comes to understanding the journey. It's not about losing the weight. It's not about making the money. It's not about having the big house. It's about understanding that life is a process. And unless you learn how to enjoy the process, you're not going to be as happy as you possibly could be. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comment section. Drop me a DM if you have to. Unfortunately, I only work with very limited amount of people on one-to-one basis because it is very time consuming when we work with one-to-one clients, but it's what we do best. And I still enjoy it by far the most when I have my time and energy to try and overcome people's health challenges. Because as you know, our mission is to make health go viral, one person at a time. Love you guys. Peace out. Remember, it's all in your mindset. If you understand how to change your mind, you can change the world around you. Peace out.